No, tēnā koutou katoa. I'll make a start. I can still see we have participants joining. But we'll use our time together. So tēnā koutou katoa, ko Hiria McRae tōku ingoa, no rotorua hau, he kaimahi au ki te whanau ako pai. So I'm Hiria. I work within our Faculty of Education, and so my kaupapa for everyone this morning. So just got to, just a couple. I'll try and manage the chat, but we also have Alan helping as well. All right, I'll just carry on then. So kaupapa for today, for our first session for Te Wiki o Te Reo Māori, with our time here at Te Herenga Waka, is looking at different types of mihi or acknowledgements. So what I wanted to look at first, a common practice, and for many of us when we're attending either hui or different types of gathering, often in Māori environments or even beyond Māori environments, we begin with a karakia. So this is an example on how we could acknowledge the person who has begun our hui or our gathering together through a karakia. So he mihi ki te kai karakia. A couple of things that I want to note here is the kupu or the term kai karakia. And so a lot of us have an understanding that term kai means different things, common as food, but in this case it's a prefix indicating a role or a responsibility. So karakia literally means is a prayer or can mean to pray. And so with the prefix kai karakia, so indicating a type of mahi or a role. So kai karakia meaning the person who's delivered the karakia. And so with this sentence here, I want to also note a few important points. So I've used the phrase tēnā koe, common phrase to say hello to one person. Tēnā literally meaning that, koe meaning you. And so I prefer to use the phrase when thanking someone for a role like presenting karakia with the direct mihi or acknowledgement, tēnā koe. Some of us may use the phrase, kia ora koe, kia ora literally meaning, has a whole range of meanings, hello, thank you. But for me, I highly recommend when acknowledging someone for a role like a karakia, I would use tēnā koe. It's focused, it's directed specifically to them. So you would insert the appropriate name. So tēnā koe hiria, more literally meaning for, has other meanings as well. Te, the, karakia, our acknowledgement or our prayer, I tēnei wā. So I've bracketed wā broadly because we can insert other kupu or terms into wā. So tēnei literally means this, wā broadly time. And so some of us would have an understanding of a range of kupu or terms in relation to time. So we could insert in regards to what particular time of the day. So we're in ata, morning. So we could say I tēnei ata. The afternoon, I tēnei ahiahi. In the evening, I tēnei pō. Broadly, some of us would have an understanding of the word rā. On this day, I tēnei rā or I tēnei rangi. So we'll practice on your own together. So insert appropriate name, your own name, and choose a time of day, or you can use wā. So our mihi ki te kai karakia, tēnā koe hiria mō te karakia I tēnei wā. One more go. Tēnā koe hiria mō te karakia I tēnei wā. Okay, we'll move to our... so, somebody has led a discussion or presented, so we can thank them for their kōrero. So as we had a kai karakia, we have a kai kōrero. Oops, I've just did that, jumped ahead. All right, so very similar to our karakia example. Tēnā koe hiria mō tō kōrero, for your kōrero I tēnei wā. And so if you don't know their name, and I skipped over that in our kai karakia slide, then we can use tēnā koe e te kai kōrero. So e is a particle appropriate to use. You can use it with 1 or 2 syllable kupu. So you couldn't use it for not my name, tēnā koe e hiria, because there's 3 syllables, but you could say tēnā koe e hine. So yeah, replacing kai kōrero with a name, tēnā koe e hone. So either 1 syllable or 2 syllable names you can use. But if you don't know their name, so recapping, tēnā koe e te kai kōrero. We'll go back to the first phrase. Tēnā koe hiria mō te kōrero I tēnei wā. Another couple of phrases which some of you may have an understanding of. Using, he mihi ki te kai kōrero, so other examples of acknowledging the kai kōrero, someone who shared a discussion, led a discussion or a presentation. And so we could use nā mihi, a common term we've hear in the media or we hear with each other, so giving, literally meaning giving thanks. Nā mihi ki a koe hiria. Another term which personalizes it more directly, which I prefer to use, aku meaning mine, aku mihi ki a koe, or aku mihi ki a hiria. So personalized, more direct, aku mihi ki a koe. Nā mihi, broad. Nā mihi ki a koe hiria, aku mihi ki a koe. Some of us, oops, jumped ahead there, have seen some of these phrases before, and preferably use when you see them in person. And so this is a little bit of a Whakapapa, I suppose. And so ka pai koe, so directly to you, you're great. Tino is exemplifies it a bit for the want of a better term. Tino pai koe, so you're a bit more than great, you're awesome. And then if you're absolutely stunning, or I've used outstanding here, tino pai rawa atsu koe. So that rawa atsu, so you can see the insertion. So we had tino pai koe, and then we've inserted rawa atsu to expand it or accentuate your mihi to the kai kōrero. So the first one, ka pai koe. They did a good job. Tino pai koe, even better job. Tino pai rawa atsu koe. They were fantastic. They were stunning. They were outstanding. More of a colloquial couple of terms here that you could acknowledge others. So if somebody has said something pretty sharp, tō krewa hoki. Krewa, literally a transliteration of clever. So an example there of a transliteration, common, in the use of Reo Māori. Tō krewa hoki, you're so clever. Or you're beautiful, you're handsome, tō ātāhua hoki. And finishing with a few other phrases, which some of you might have seen before as well. And here I've used the phrase Reo Whakamana. So we know that Reo is language, and Whakamana to praise or uplift someone. So Reo Whakamana, example of praise phrases. So we could use the phrase tau ke, awesome, or kino ke koe, you're amazing. Ka mau te wehi, that's amazing. Or kai runga noa atsu koe, you're the best, you're stunning. So that's what I have for this morning. I can respond to any questions in the chat if I haven't explained something clearly, or if you have other questions in regards to types of mihi, or in regards to types of Reo Whakamana. So I'll just pause to see if you have any questions in the chat. Totally. So some examples, all of them could be used as written or oral, and answering Francesca's question. Yeah, Tracy, I think Ellen will be sharing both the recordings and this. Yeah, the recordings will be available, so the slides will be available. Kapai, and we have a question from Tatiana. Whaka, what does the prefix whaka mean? Means to, in its most basic form, to do something. So we know, a lot of us know that mana is well, it's a tricky term to explain mana, but so the whaka makes it a verb, so indicating the mahi, whakamana, if that makes so. Whakamahi, whakahaere are some words that you might have heard as well. Whakamihi, so we've used mihi as an acknowledgement, so indicating a type of mahi. Okay, so Petra, I'm just looking at some of the questions here. So Petra, could you say that kapai? Oh, kino ke, yes, you could say kino ke koutou, kapai koe. So I love this, inserting the language that a lot of you have as well. So I had kino ke koe. You could use it kino ke kōrua to two, kino ke koutou to a group, kapai koe, Petra. Is there a way to make these specific to children? If you are using personal pronouns in relation to children, they're applicable to any age. You could say, for a child, tau ke e tama. For a boy, tau ke e te kōtiro. So appropriate for a whole range. I'm just going down to can you please go over and say the first slide saying well? Okay, wait. So the question, there's a couple of questions here. So in regards to tēnā koe mō te asking, is this after someone else has said a karakia? Yeah, so it's not acknowledging whoever may have led the karakia, you would say, tēnā koe, anonymous attendee, no, tēnā koe hiria mō te karakia I tēnei wā. So yes, thanking someone for doing the karakia. Thanking someone for their contribution to a hui or their kōrero. So Valerie's asked, kia ora Valerie, tēnā koe hiria mō te kōrero I tēnei hui. Can you use meeting instead of what? Oh, I got you, Valerie. Yeah, you could. So Valerie's asked, could we replace wa with hui? Yes, that's my short answer. Valerie. Question from Chris about, can you talk a bit more about care and what it does? Care that's a whole kaupapa, big kaupapa in itself. And so no, I won't, Chris, talk about care and what it does. Kia ora, Sonja. I'm just reading. I was wondering why it's kapai. I thought kapai was kapai is can also, so Sondra's question is ka as a future tense. Ka can also be as currently happening right now, if that's helpful for you. Kia ora, Clive. That's fine, Hooky. Okay. So Clive's question around hooky can mean a whole range of has a whole range of meanings, basic meaning as well. So ko au hooky, you could use ko au hooky as me too. In relation to the phrases I've given, giving emphasis is another way. Same as the kupu like tonu can mean as well, but it can also emphasize a particular phrase, if that's helpful. Any other pātai while you have me on the line? Okay, I'll go over some pronunciation then, and maybe incorporate, yeah, so I'll review our slides and review some of the questions that were shared as well. So practicing, using this as an opportunity to practice your pronunciation. Insert appropriate name, maybe look at using a different time of day in the bracketed wā. So, tēnā koe hiria mō te karakia I tēnei wā could replace with ata, morning, ahi, afternoon, for, evening, rā or rangi for the day. And what Val shared was it's appropriate to use I tēnei hui. Oh, ka pai Millie. So question, what would be appropriate to use with older people? Similar to the question around using personal pronouns with children. So this is, a lot of us have vocabulary around distinguishing between different people. And so you could, if we're looking at the phrase at the moment, tēnā koe e te karaua. So we know that karaua is an elderly man. Tēnā koe e te kuia, elderly woman. So again, all of these are phrases appropriate for a whole range of different types of people. And so inserting ingoa or name and recognising who they are. Was it more personal, more heartfelt? Okay, so the question, and reiterating what I shared in regards to using what is the difference between using ngā mihi and aku mihi. Ngā mihi, definitely more broad. So ngā mihi literally means acknowledgements. Aku mihi is my personal acknowledgement to you. So yeah, if you want to use kupu like more personal, more heartfelt, yes, definitely that's the distinction between the two. Okay, go back to practicing. Tēnā koe, so we've had e te karauā, e te kuia, tēnā koe e tama, tēnā koe e te kōtiro, so tama, boy, kōtiro, girl, tamaiti, child. So inserting a whole range of roles as possible there. Or, like I said earlier, if you don't know their name, you could use the default, tēnā koe e te kaikarakia. So recognising that role, kai being that prefix indicating that it's a role or a responsibility or a type of mahi, tēnā koe e te kaikarakia. And then in a different context, so somebody who shared a kōrero, tēnā koe e te karauā mō tō kōrero i tēnei wā, o tēnā koe e te kai kōrero. And so we had that difference in personalising it for more, And ngā mihi, I prefer also to be more direct when you say ngā mihi kia koe hiria, instead of, ngā mihi isn't very direct to me. So, yeah, and then even more direct, aku mihi kia koe, or aku mihi kia koe hiria. And finally, a couple of slides of praises that you might use, that you can use both written or orally in your emails, o ka pai koe, sino pai koe, sino paira wātu koe. And so we had a question earlier, you could replace koe with sino pai koutou, sino pai kōrua. Sorry, question. Danny, please put these options in the, don't know how to put, okay. Okay, yep, I'll put it in the chat. I can do that so that it's recorded as well. So, it's white. I'll see where I can put that in the chat. Actually, no, I'm not going to put that in the chat. I am going to use it, to challenge yourselves is looking at, you'll get these slides, but looking at different types of parts of the day. Easy to find, kupu in relation to the times of the day. So, ata, ahi, ahi, po, common kupu. So, no, I'm not going to put them in the chat. Some homework for you. Rachel, when thank you so much. Could you put it in front of their name? Ka pai. Koe. So Rachel's asking, yes, when it's a one or so, Nate just put a question, I could say, tēnā koe e Nate, but I couldn't say tēnā koe e Hiria because there's 3 syllables to my name. So yeah, good question, Rachel. Good reminder too. 1 or 2 syllable names or 1 or 2 syllable kupu with e. Where'd you put it? No, I just said that. Sorry, Kieran. Sorry. So with hiria, no, you couldn't. So you couldn't say tēnā koe e hiria with 3 syllables. Tēnā koe e Nate, tēnā koe e Kieran, but not You just say, tēnā koe hiria. Okay, hopefully then you're going to go away and either use these with your students, use these with your colleagues, use them in your emails, and yeah, do some homework in some cases and extending your vocab. Yeah, so that is us. Quickly with Paul. So what does putting? So the quick last questions here. A grammatical undefined particle, as you know, with many different languages. So that's how I'm going to explain for now. What difference does it make adding nui to the ngā mihi nui? Nui, like tonu, like Wiki, kupu like that, giving it more emphasis if that's helpful for you, Paul. Okay, so aku mihi anō kia koutou katoa, kia pai tērā. Kia pai te wiki hoki o te reo Māori. Kia kaha tonu koutou katoa.